Clash Royale.
Over Deer. Deer, can he come back? We'll find out as we get into game number 2 of our best of 5 series here in tonight's SSL.
You can call me an alien in a superstitious land, but I'm flipping the pages, rattling cages in the Asian man.
Here we are on New Gettysburg for the second set of match number 3. Down here in the bottom left, in the red, when in that last one, it is Solar.
See what the fans have to say to Solar here. It says from the least played race in Season 2 to the best race, go Solar. And there's Deer as the Protoss player once again. Says the Warrior Protoss. Let's go Deer. We'll see if Deer can do better now that we are on New Gettysburg. Brand new game here, and this one will start with Solar's hatchery at his natural.
A good start. Not sure how a proxy hatch would work on New Gettysburg, especially with the ramp, but
yeah,
would be a fun game nonetheless. Maybe Solar would be one of the only Zergs to make it
player,
work.
Man.
Yeah. That might just be Deer because it would just be like, okay, I guess so. I'll just hold this off.
Is he going to do it every game? Probably not. Definitely the element of surprise very important there. So I'm going to be throwing down his pool just now after his natural. No surprises so far. Natural just now started here for Deer, and a much more standard start to our second game of the series. There we go. I got it the second time around. Man, it feels like I'm going through puberty all over again with this whole like sore throat nonsense. But don't worry, we will persevere.
Yeah,
much
we'll
like
stick
Deer.
it out.
So let's see, Deer, or Solar rather, actually going to go for a third base right now, even before he knows exactly what's coming his way. I don't think he scouted that natural, so this could be that one base 4-gate return to Wings of Liberty, and you just never see anything, and oh wait, you've made 3 hatcheries. But nothing quite so crazy going on. Just going to be fairly standard start there for Deer with Solar with an early third.
Let's see when Deer gets this information. He is sending over the scouting probe now. And Deer seems to me like one of these players that he's got specific builds that he responds with once he sees specific conditions. So he goes over there and he sees that fast third. And now is he going to go for an Adept all-in, or is he going to take a quick third? Those are kind of the 2 options I'd see out of Deer. It's kind of what I want to see on the way here. He's going to make a Stalker on the back of that Twilight Council, so maybe some blink pressure. It might just be to deny scouting at first and then go into Adepts with the Resonating Glaives.
Certainly Zap's seen a lot of Resonating Glaives and Adepts in PvP. Here in PvZ, often do see a either you do start going air early and then you commit to that, especially here on New Gettysburg, where having air control helps you secure those island bases, which can be really good for Protoss. But it does look like as the first Stalker comes out, it will be heavier Adept pressure with Glaive started out. Although it doesn't appear as if this pressure is actually going to affect Solar, at least for a while. He's got all 3 of his bases up, getting Queen saturated everything, and that Overlord speed should help him see anything that's coming his way.
Yeah, even just 1 Stalker is not enough to stop 2 Overlords that are nearby with speed. So I'm glad you point that out. Solar is definitely going to get a good idea of what's going on here. He's not even going to overcommit. He even gets in there before the speed is done. He does need to move this Overlord unless he wants to lose
you're
it.
So bad. Oh man, he's like trying to get away, but nope.
Okay.
I actually thought there was enough distance there for Overlords to get away, but nope.
It was close. If he moved like 5 feet north, he would have been safe. But
well, now that Overlord speed is done, it should be a little bit easier for at least this Overlord to understand exactly what's going on. Oh no, that's only 1 Evo chamber. I thought he was going super hardcore with the upgrades. One of those is in fact a Baneling Nest, making sure that he has those up in time for any of these early push shenanigans. And whoa, double Stargate in the back as soon as that Overlord was cleared out. Deer A little bit of tech thrown down.
I think he did this last night against Biel. I'm pretty sure we saw this at least once. He went double Stargate, took his third on the back of like 8 Phoenixes, and then threw down double Robo. I'm pretty sure it was against Biel. I'm not 100% sure, but a build that we've seen before recently. It's a cool idea for sure. You see him coming over here, ready to take his third. A bit safer on this map compared to, it was Frozen Temple that he did it on last night, so he can get this out a little bit earlier, even before he starts the Phoenix production.
Now moving forward maybe a little bit with the Adepts as he does start that shade on in. Probably just scouting here. He will see the Banelings morphing, so at least those will be able to defend this high ground from any Adept early pressure. None of that will help, though, against these Phoenixes that are going to start coming out, so we will need to see at least spores be thrown down or extra queen pressure. Already teching up the lick.
Getting that lair out. He also does see finally the... Oh, wow, he's going to commit to the shade
what?
here. Maybe a bit of a mistake.
He saw those Banelings morphing right there, and that's a lot of Adepts to lose.
Definitely a mistake there. I think he was focusing on microing his Phoenixes somewhere else on the map.
I mean, he was only killing Overlords with the Phoenixes, and now he's got to defend against a huge amount of Lings pressuring this front door.
Boy.
He does have a couple of pylons there, but he will catch some probes Maynarding over to the third.
Kind of funny that Solar actually doesn't commit to that, especially after seeing the Phoenixes.
Yeah, you just killed so many Adepts. Like, there can't be that much there. And he even had Banelings as well, so he could have busted pylons to stop those overcharges too.
I guess he wants to take it slower, take his 4th base, and just get all this tech that he's getting up right now, and just try to be safe with it and not overcommit. But definitely on our screens, that was a moment in time where he could have at least put on some pressure with those cheap Lings.
That is relationship advice from Solar. Take it slow, don't overcommit.
Yes.
Life lessons from StarCraft
At least
here.
early on in the game, right?
Yeah,
Once it gets
true.
to the late game, then you could definitely commit to something a
you
little
gotta
bit
go
more
in for
serious.
the kill there at the end.
Yeah.
Especially once you take out all of your opponent's army. I'm not sure what the analogy is there, but kind of breaks down at some point. Either way, some good early drone kills, but with spores up in every base, shouldn't see too much more effectiveness from those Phoenix-Eye.
Phoenix eyes.
I'm gonna Phoenix-size you. Yeah, it's flying them back home just to take care of any of these stray Overlords. They are super fast, and they will be able to take out that Overseer. Will they lift the changeling? A probe goes behind the extractor to take it out. Assimilator. I always call the gas mining buildings the wrong thing for the wrong races.
I do that as well. I don't know why.
Also super bad with worker names. I think I would be able to get those down. But even Artosis messed them up last night, so I feel much more vindicated about
it happens to everybody,
That
you
is
know.
very true.
No big deal. And we do have Charge on the way, by the way, something we did not mention just yet. He is going to go into a similar style that
Oh
we
wow,
did
yeah,
see the
you
other
can actually
night.
lose a couple of these Phoenixes. Loses one. Thanks to those queens coming up. Does take one queen with him, though. Bailing speed about to complete there, as well as +1.
I think he does see that, unless it's right outside the range. I just checked the range there. It was really close. It looks like it was just barely outside the range. So that Warp Prism is going to get into a great spot at that 4th.
I said +1, that's actually +2. That's almost done. But yeah, breaking through these rocks here, this is a lot of Zerg. Oh my god, he's even bringing in a lot of queens with this as well. So losing a few drones there in the back, actually, have more than a little bit more than a few. But oh my god, this game is not going to last much longer, Valdez.
He's got 4 Immortals here, and he's got a bunch of these High Templar, but no Storm.
What's the total Baneling number here? Because this is actually going to be huge. Now, force fields do go down. They do actually trap all of the Banelings, but will they last long enough? Now, Ravagers can actually break through those force fields, but it does not look like Solar will commit to this push up into the 3rd, but he's going to go break the natural here, too. Wow. Trying to see how many force fields are left. Nice targeting on those Banelings. They're rolling in!
And they roll into an Immortal. So many wasted Banelings there, and fantastic force fields by Deer at the same time. Finally, the Baneling's getting some hits now on some chargelets.
At the same time, these Immortals and Phoenixes coming in should be enough to at least put a big dent in this Zerg army, but still a little bit of damage being done. Those Immortals in the back so low on that red HP. Will they be taken out? Oh my god. Okay, finally some Zerglings getting in all up on those, and the Immortals will fall. So much Zerg streaming across the map. Solar might just take this game.
It is very, very close in this fight, but it looks like he has just barely enough to finally finish off this Burnout. Some harass damage back at that fourth base. I don't think it's going to matter, though.
This Archon, but it's going to get immediately surrounded. Zerglings everywhere and not a can of raid in sight. What is Deer going to do? But GG.
Deer not able to hold on there, and Solar off to a quick start, 2-0. Okay. Not what I expected, Rapid.
No, I believe even like the Team Liquid projections were 3-2, which was actually a little bit closer than what we thought it was going to be. I actually thought Deer, especially off of his GSL performances, looking really good. And Zerg has been having a little bit of a rough time in any individual tournament internationally as well. So wasn't sure exactly what to expect, but great game number 2 by Solar.
Yeah, Solar, I liked his response there. He definitely watched the game last night and studied that. He's like, I can hit a timing here, where he slowly was producing queens until he had about 10. And he just went for a very basic composition. It was nothing crazy, right? It was Ling, Baneling, Roach, Ravager. And mainly just Ravagers, right? It was,
right.
And he just got so much stuff, and he got a very early fourth base too, so his production was out the window. And he knew that Deer was going into all these crazy techs, like Charge, like Double Robo. He's getting these Immortals, right? And he could hit a timing where there's not that many Immortals and make a lot of Lings and Banelings. And that's the exact timing that he hit. He broke down the rocks before he went for the timing. And it all really worked out. That's just great studying from Solar and a great strategy.
Yeah, it turns out you can only lift so many things with Phoenixes. And actually a little bit sloppy there on the push in by Solar, but that is going to do it for our first 2 games. We will be heading out to a lack of a commercial break. And then we're going to return. We're just going to pretend we have an instant commercial. But those games have actually been so fast that we get a 3rd game in a row.
Well, okay, wait. We are going to a commercial, guys.
Oh, okay. We just look like we're not going. All right, commercial time. See ya.